I'm ready. Ah. Hey guys, how's it going? Today, we're talking about sleep. I have been having trouble sleeping since the pandemic started, probably because of stress, but I have purchased a fair amount of things since quarantine started that I really do believe have helped me sleep better that I want to share with you today. I will link everything in the description box if you want to check anything out or learn more about any of the products that I'm talking about. But let's get started. I want to start with my favorite item that I tell literally everyone about. Like even people who don't ask, I just tell them, and that is my pillow. It's huge, okay? I didn't know it was gonna be this big when I bought it. I didn't know there was a difference between a standard pillow and a queen pillow. I bought the queen, so that's why it's so large. This is literally the best pillow I've ever laid my head on. I just could hug it all day. It's so cozy. This is the first pillow that I've ever purchased not from like Marshall's or Target, and I was kind of like,
how different could like an expensive pillow really be?
You know, it's very different. Like I feel the aftermath if I sleep on a normal pillow now compared to this in the morning. And I don't know if that's just because like I'm getting older, but this is amazing. This is the Coop Eden pillow, and it's different from their Coop original, and it has different filling, and it has this like border on the side, which is I guess good for like side sleeping because it kind of like supports your neck when you're sleeping. But my favorite thing about this pillow is that you can actually take out or add stuffing into it to make it like as fluffy or as flat as you want. I also sleep on my back, so I did take out quite a bit of stuffing from this guy to make it a little bit flatter for me since I am a very small person. You can unzip it here, and then it has the filling inside of a separate like zippered pouch. So you can unzip that. And this is where all the filling is. It's kind of like memory foam meets like normal pillow stuffing. It's very interesting. It's so soft, like I wish you could feel how soft it is. I'm actually gonna read from the website what it is to explain it to you, but oh my God, is it just the most comfortable pillow I've ever laid my weary head on? Yes, the answer is yes. So I'm just gonna zip her up since I have the perfect ratio of stuffing right now in here. You can't mess with that. What should we do? Okay, let's see what this stuffing is made out of. Okay, so it's gel-infused memory foam and microfiber blend. So it's cooling and breathable and also hypoallergenic. It's cruelty-free, dust mite resistant, all good stuff. So even though it is like the most expensive pillow I've ever purchased, it is so worth it. I don't wake up with kinked necks anymore. I didn't even know that you could wake up without a kinked neck, basically. And now that I have this, it hasn't happened since. I love it so much. I would recommend if you have a queen size bed and like the regular queen sheet set to get the standard pillow, because I guess queen sheet sets come with standard pillowcases, which I did not know. So consider that when you're buying it, but otherwise, this is the best pillow ever. The next major thing that I've acquired since quarantine, I don't actually have a link to because my friend just gave it to me. I'm gonna grab it. It's a weighted blanket. This is so heavy. Weighted blankets are magical. I will say that. I laid under this thing during the debate. It really just kind of like cocoons you and shields you from anxiety. I am obsessed with it. I would say if you're new to weighted blankets, I would get a 12 or 15 pound one because they are surprisingly heavy. And I would also say if you sleep hot, I would get a cotton one. This is not cotton, and I definitely do get hot when I sleep. But it's great for just like laying on the couch, just resting and trying to rid myself of my anxiety. And I also like move around a lot when I sleep, and I definitely think this has helped me to not flail around as much since it is kind of just like weighing you down. But it feels really nice. My sister has one, my dad has one, they love them. So I would highly recommend if you're an anxious sleeper to try a weighted blanket. The next thing I'm sure you've all heard of, but it is the Calm app. And if you haven't heard of it or haven't tried it, I would highly, highly recommend it. It is not necessarily meant for sleep. I do use the other features on it, like the soothing music and the guided meditations every once in a while, but the sleep stories are my favorite thing about this app. I've never had issues with falling asleep or insomnia until the pandemic started, and the cure to that for me has been Harry Styles reading me a bedtime story. I'm not even lying. Harry Styles has a bedtime story on the Calm app, among many other people, but his is my favorite. I am partial to a soothing British voice, so if you're like me, you might want to try out the Harry Styles one. And I believe they have a 7-day free trial, so if you want to go on and test out some of the bedtime stories to see if you like them, if they work for you, I would highly, highly recommend it. I absolutely love it. I've also heard good things about their Midnight in Paris, I think is what it's called. Let me see. A Night in Shakespeare's London I also like, and A Rainy Day in Paris is what it's called. I have not listened to A Rainy Day in Paris, but I've heard good things. I listened to Dream With Me from Harry Styles, and A Night in Shakespeare's London if I am having trouble sleeping. The next thing isn't an essential for me all year round, but it is in the winter, and that is a humidifier. Yes. Trying to sleep with like dry air and a dry nose is just painful to me, at least. And then waking up with like just a dry throat and a dry mouth, and you're just like SpongeBob when he like left the ocean, you know?
Water would be nice.
I need a humidifier to sleep in the winter. Dry air can also make you more susceptible to getting sick and having viruses pass through your airways. So that's something to keep in mind, especially this year. I got this one on Amazon for I think like $40. I'll link it down below. It has mixed reviews, but I've had no issues with it. It's so easy. It's nice that the plug is removable, so you can like take it to your sink. You just fill up this part, put it on here, and then you just turn it on. And there's also, it glows blue if you want like a little bit of a night light with it. I love it. The next thing I use is something that I've talked about on my channel before, and that's the 5-minute journal. And it's not really like for sleeping, but it is nice to journal and like reflect a little bit before you go to bed. And if you're not a big journaler, this is nice because it has prompts for the morning and for the evening. So you just list at night 3 amazing things that happened today and how you could have made today even better. So it also kind of helps you end your day on a little bit of a positive note if it's been really stressful or just full of, you know, depressing news, which most days are these days. So it's nice to kind of just like write down things that you're grateful for and that brought you joy in that day to kind of go to sleep on a positive note. And also it's good to not look at your phone or electronics right before bed. So it's nice to journal to kind of like turn your brain off a little bit before you actually try to go to sleep. The last thing is technically not for sleeping, it's actually for awakening, but it's a sunrise alarm clock. This is what it looks like. It's really little. It does have a plug, but I just brought it over here without the plug. But this is amazing. It's such a genius idea. I love it. I'm gonna show you how it works because it's kind of easier to show you than to tell you kind of a thing. But basically the gist of it and the idea behind it is that you wake up to the rising sun instead of being like jolted awake by the sound of an alarm. So it's a much more soothing and gradual wake up process. So you're supposed to wake up less groggy and actually like get out of bed rather than snooze your alarm 500 times until you wake up. So I love it, and I definitely think it does help, especially as now it's gonna start getting darker in the morning. The sun's not gonna be coming up as early. I'm really excited to use this during the winter to get that stimulated sunrise. So let me show you how it works after I sneeze. Okay, in order for me to plug this in, it's gonna get a little dark in this corner, so just, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of basically just an alarm clock, but it has some additional cool features. And the biggest thing is obviously this sunrise feature. So what you do when you're going to set your alarm, you can set 2 different alarms for different times, but when you hold down the alarm to set it, you can set the time and then the sounds that you want. So this is kind of like a beach, waves, birds. There's one that's just birds. There's one that's just like bubbling water. Your standard alarm. Wind chimes. That's beautiful. That too is beautiful. And you can also set it to FM radio as well. I like sound too. And then this is the volume option, so you can make it really, really quiet or really loud. Like too loud, you know. So I do volume at 10. And then this is where you set how bright you want your light to end up. So it starts with like a really, really soft, barely there glow. Like you can't even really see it on camera. And then it'll gradually get brighter with like a nice red toned light, and then more orange, then more yellow, and then that like bright white actual like daylight. And this is as bright as it goes. So I like to have it go up to level 16 for brightness, and then you can set how long it takes for it to go from its smallest amount of light to the brightest, and I set it for 30 minutes, but you can set it from anywhere from an hour up to 20 minutes, and that's how like gradually it will take for the sun to rise. And if you want to just have it as like a nightstand light, you can just push this button right here, and it'll just turn on the light, so you can use it as like a nightstand light, which I do every day. It also has the radio, which is what this little cord is here, and it was relatively inexpensive. These can be very expensive. I bought a cheaper one because I just wanted to test it out and see if I liked it, and it works just fine for me. So I love this, and I am very happy that I discovered that this was a thing. I absolutely hate waking up to like a jarring noise, so if you're like me, I would highly recommend trying this out. So that is it for today, you guys. Let me know in the comments if you have any other tips or things that you use to get better sleep. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.